Hello and welcome to a new vlog and trip report. Today we're taking a look at the Tarka line in the UK. We are going from Exeter to Barnstaple and back, and here on the map you can see our route today. We are starting at my hotel in Exeter, the Indigo Hotel, which is not too far away from the station Exeter Central, and there I had a fantastic breakfast with great service. When I arrived I was given a short tour on the whole buffet area. The breakfast was explained to me how everything works. Great service, and after a fantastic breakfast it was then unfortunately already time to say goodbye to my wonderful hotel room, but I left my luggage stored at the hotel and now I'm heading to the station Exeter Central. To get there I'm now walking through the beautiful city center of Exeter. As I've already mentioned in my other videos here in the region, the city is very beautiful, has nice shopping opportunities and some nice restaurants, so Exeter is worth a visit. But we are now at the station Exeter Central. Here I got my tickets and now we can take a look at the arrival of my train today. So as you can see, we're traveling with the class 166 again. We've now seen this train quite a few times in my videos, but of course we're gonna still take another look at the interior. We can see the 2+3 configuration, which is quite dense. We have also a quite tight seat pitch. Seats are not too comfortable but quite okay, but there are no other features and the seat pitch is rather tight. Here we are now approaching Exeter St David's, which is the more important railway station, as from here there are connections, for example, to London and to Plymouth, as well as to Bristol, as you can connect to the long distance trains here. But we are on the Tarka line today. We're now following the line to Bristol for a few minutes and then we are leaving the main line. We're following the Tarka line. We know the beginning of the line because the beginning is shared with a Dartmoor line. Maybe you've already seen my video about the Dartmoor line, so we know the line until here. Now we are in Ewford. Here you can see the former platform on the track of the Dartmoor line, and on my side there still is a station, and now we're on the part of the Tarka line we haven't seen yet. We're now heading to Barnstaple. The Tarka line is named after Tarka the Otter from the book Tarka the Otter of Henry Williamson. Therefore the logo of the line also shows an otter. The landscape is very nice and beautiful. We are mainly following the River Tar and we're also crossing that river multiple times. There are small stations. At some points it feels like the stations even are in the middle of nowhere. They are very small stations. Some of them are also not served by all trains. The closer we get to Barnstaple, the bigger the River Tar gets, and then the landscape also gets a bit more beautiful, even though the valley gets wider of course, but also the river gets wider, and therefore the landscape is very beautiful when we're getting close to Barnstaple. Today the line ends in Barnstaple. Early on there were a few connections from Barnstaple, so Barnstaple was a quite important station, but nowadays it is the end of the line and there are also no other railway lines anywhere close to Barnstaple. The next different railway lines are quite far away, so it's the only railway line heading up north here, therefore quite important. And we are now getting closer to Barnstaple. As you can see, the River Tar is already pretty big. We're gonna cross it on the last bridge now. And then we are reaching Barnstaple. Of course, we're gonna take a look at this beautiful city before we're taking the next train then back to Exeter. So here we are at the River Tar once again. And then we are reaching the station of Barnstaple, which is now the end of the line, but as you can see there is an unused platform, which clearly shows that the station used to be more important than it is now, as there were multiple connections. There was also the Ilfracombe branch line, which crossed the River Tar here at this location again, but there's nothing left of the bridge. There's only the long bridge nowadays, which is used for cars and for passengers. And now we're in the beautiful city center of Barnstaple. Barnstaple has a quite nice shopping street called High Street with a lot of shops and cafes and the market hall, so it is very beautiful. And I spent an hour here in Barnstaple. As you can see, a very beautiful city, and now I'm heading back to the station to go back to Exeter. Here we are at the Long Bridge again, and now we can take a look at the beautiful station of Barnstaple. Just like in my last videos, also here we can see that the station is in a quite good condition. We even have a waiting hall with a small shop, and the station in general looks very nice and is taken care of very well. And now we can take a look at the arrival of my train, which will now bring me back to Exeter Central. So as you can see, my train now is the class 158 of Great Western Railway. It consists of 3 cars, and here we can see the interior, which comes with nice and comfortable and soft seats, movable armrests, tables and power sockets. Just like in the Class 158 of South Western Railway, also here at Great Western Railway, the first 2 rows at the entrance have a wider seat pitch. They are intended for passengers with reduced mobility, so as long nobody needs those seats, I would recommend taking them, because there you have much more space. But of course that comes with the risk that you have to give up your seat when somebody with reduced mobility enters the train and needs those seats. What's quite interesting about my train is that the class 158 usually has 2 cars, but my train has 3 cars. And that is because I'm basically traveling in 1.5 trains. So of course you can couple 2 trains together, and there is a door at the front, so you can connect 2 trains to one, a longer train with 4 cars, and you can walk from beginning to end through the train. And that also works with 3 cars. So my train now consists of 1 train, and then there's half of a train coupled in front of it. Later on, when I'm leaving the train, we can take a look at the departure of the train at the station Exeter Central, and when you take a close look, you can see that there is a driver's cab in the middle of the train. I'm now sitting on the other side, and as you can see also on this side, the landscape is a very beautiful. So the Tarka line is a very beautiful railway line. Here we are at EU Fort, and as I've mentioned in my Dartmoor line video, in the middle of the platform there is a bridge, which is also quite unique for a station. We've just seen that now. And now we are approaching Exeter St. David's again. We're now just a few minutes away from the station, and as I said in the beginning of the video, it is the more important station, as from there you can connect on to Bristol and then on to London, or also to Plymouth. Here we are at Exeter St. David's, but I'm staying in the train. I'm continuing on to Exeter Central, as I have to go back to my hotel to retrieve my luggage. And here we are approaching Exeter Central, and now we can take a look at the interior of the train once again, and we can see the departure of the train. And don't forget to take a look at the driver's cab in the middle of the train. And that's already it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Here you can see when the next one will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link. And I hope to see you in my next video then.